Even from a very young age, I can remember being read, reading, watching, playing and immersing myself in the wizarding world of Harry Potter. From reading the very first Harry Potter book, playing the Chamber of Secrets on the PlayStation 2 and watching the entire movie box set over and over again, the wizarding world has always been an imperative influence in my childhood, and it still is today. So ever since Hogwarts Legacy was officially announced, I knew it would be the perfect game for me to dive back into for another magical adventure. Over 1 month has passed since the reveal trailer, so today I will be breaking down and covering absolutely everything we know about this game so far. To get a good understanding of the game, let's read through a quick informative description. Hogwarts Legacy is an immersive open-world single-player action RPG set in the late 1800s wizarding world. Players will experience life as a student at the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry like never before, as they live the unwritten and embark on a dangerous journey to uncover a hidden truth of the wizarding world. Developed by Avalanche and published by Warner Bros. Games under the Portkey Games label, Hogwarts Legacy is most certainly cross-platform, releasing for the PlayStation 4, PlayStation 5, Xbox family of devices and PC, releasing in 2021. Already, I'm especially happy with the decision to make this game an RPG. After over a decade without a good Harry Potter video game, we'll finally get our very first RPG set in the wizarding world. It's still incomprehensible to believe this is even happening, but we will undoubtedly experience such a journey set in this universe in a video game. So I can cover absolutely every detail I have discovered. This video will be structured into 5 sections. Each section will focus on a different aspect of the overall game, being story, character, locations, activities, spells and more, and then other details. I will leave timestamps in the description down below so you can skip to any individual aspect if you are specifically interested in only that section, but I recommend you stick around throughout the entire video as this is all very fascinating information. Now with that out of the way, let's dive deep into the first section, story. Your character is a student who holds the key to an ancient secret that threatens to tear the wizarding world apart. You have received a late acceptance to the Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry and soon discover that you are no ordinary student. You possess an unusual ability to perceive and master ancient magic. Only you can decide if you will protect this secret for the good of all or yield to the temptation of more sinister magic. Discover the feeling of living at Hogwarts as you make allies, battle dark wizards and ultimately decide the fate of the wizarding world. Your legacy is what you make of it. The RPG element to this game is already very clear. As well as it being an open world game, we will have to make important story decisions that will change how we play throughout the rest of the game. We will make decisions that will deeply affect the character we have created and those around us. The option to choose whether to become a dark wizard or stay true to the light is an alluring concept. I would like to become the hero of a story, but a second playthrough would definitely lead me down the path of the dark arts. The heart of every story decision lies with the hidden secrets beyond the wizarding world and the ancient magic we possess. But remember this, Hogwarts Legacy is set in the wizarding world a century before the timeline of the Harry Potter book series, so the game cannot rely on the likes of Harry Potter and Lord Voldemort to carry the story forward. You create your own protagonist, make your journey in a wizarding world, learning spells and making new friends and companions along the way. The next section, character. At the beginning of the game, you choose and customize your character. They can either be a male or a female, a witch or a wizard. It has even been rumored you can choose to be a pureblood, a half-blood or a muggle. A leak from 2017 showcased the original idea for the character customizer, which has surely only been improved upon since then. This customizer, however, already features plenty of detail, with customization options for skin color, body shape, facial features, clothing and much more. You can morph your character to look like yourself or Harry Potter himself. The choice is yours. Another initial decision you will have to make is which house should you settle in, Gryffindor, Ravenclaw, Hufflepuff or Slytherin. Whichever you choose, this is where your Hogwarts journey starts. Your character is a late arrival to Hogwarts and according to leaks is to arrive as a 5th year student. It's an RPG, a role-playing game, so various missions will present multiple story options that can change your character for the good or the bad. It is said players will encounter missions and scenarios that will change their morality and determine what they stand for. You will have to make tough decisions along the way, but as each decision gets tougher, you become stronger. As you experience more and more of the wizarding world, you will learn to master powerful spells, hone combat combat skills, brew potions, and tame fantastic beasts. A skill tree is rumoured to enhance your character's abilities throughout the game as well. And so we move on to the next section, locations. Hogwarts Legacy is an open world video game, so you can free roam around the entire world whenever you wish. The central hub is the Hogwarts Castle, where you can explore the Great Hall, the courtyard, the library, classrooms, common rooms, and much more. If you're not familiar with any Harry Potter material up until now, this is where you will live and learn during your magical days in the wizarding world. I have high expectations for the entire interior and exterior of the castle to complement the lore and be completely explorable, especially with the moving staircases repositioning themselves to disguised areas, opening up for extraordinary experiences. To walk the halls of Hogwarts at night, at Christmas, with the portraits moving and my Wonderlight is something that I really hope is possible, and if somehow the Marauders map makes its way into the game, exploration around Hogwarts would reach a new level of mystery. Still, Hogwarts is not the only location you can explore in the world of Hogwarts Legacy. Hogsmeade Village and the Forbidden Forest with the Whomping Willow have both been confirmed. The Ministry of Magic has been rumoured, Diagon Alley was teased with this one-shot screenshot, and hidden caves and runes are situated throughout the open world. As this is an open world, more and more locations are likely to be revealed before launch. The next section is a few topics I've thrown into one title, being activities, spells, and more. Activities and open world entertainment are an essential factor of an RPG. Without things to do during exploration, the world can feel uninspiring, but with them, the world comes to life and immerses the player into the game. Quidditch is a very popular activity I'm confident mostly everybody wants in Hogwarts Legacy, and was teased in the reveal trailer with two Hufflepuff students picking up their broomsticks and preparing to kick off the ground. Wizard's Chess was also teased in the Ravenclaw common room, and a card game has been rumoured. You can also ride hippogriffs and tame fantastic beasts like a mooncalf and Graphorn. Magical creatures like these should play a substantial role in gameplay, as they have been heavily portrayed in the marketing of this game so far. During your time at Hogwarts, you participate in many classes, learning magic in many classrooms. Classes that have already been confirmed are Potions, Herbology, and Transfiguration, but you can expect the majority of the classes seen in the books and movies to be featured. Defense against the dark arts, for example, is a must-have, especially with the many spells that have already been revealed. Transfiguration and Protego were confirmed in the trailer, alongside the strategic, offensive, and defensive unknown spells. However, in leaked gameplay, Lumos, Alohomora, Reparo, Expulso, Stupefy, and Depulso were all confirmed, and yet many more unannounced spells are likely to be featured in the game. In Hogwarts Legacy, you will face danger in many forms. The undead in theory, for example, Dementors, Trolls, and Dragons also, as seen in the reveal trailer. But the most interesting enemy you will face is that of Dark Wizards. There is a skull Death Eater-like figure wearing fur and potentially basilisk fangs on their torso, who is only one of the many Dark Wizards we will encounter on our journey. It will be interesting to see how our character's morality will affect those we face, and if turning into a Dark Wizard will position others as the enemy. For the final section of this video, other details. If I were to make a new category for every detail, this video would be split into a ridiculous amount of sections. Therefore, I have compiled the remaining topics of a game into this final category. The art style is an interesting topic of conversation to start with. Personally, I think the design is excellent for the most part. A few shots in the trailer do look graphically outdated and still do need finishing touches, but the remaining shots look fantastic. With Hogwarts Legacy being an RPG, the choices we make influence the narrative of the story, which opens up for great replayability. Not only can you jump back into the game for a second playthrough as a completely different character in a contrasting Hogwarts house with new characteristics, but you can make different decisions to those you chose in your previous playthrough, expanding your experiences. A specific detail I'm hopeful for is pets. We are all aware that every Hogwarts student requires an owl, a cat, or a toad, or in some cases a rat. We've already spotted a barn owl fly over Hogwarts and a cat sat in the Ravenclaw common room, so it is almost inevitable pets will become a feature. As a student at Hogwarts, you can interact with many other students, making friends and companions during your school years. The companions you make can then assist you in facing off against previously mentioned deadly enemies. Romance options have also been rumoured and highly requested, and if done right, could be a great feature to expand the personality of your character. An important notice next, as some people are likely cautious to purchase the game in support of J.K. Rowling. The description given by Avalanche is J.K. Rowling was not involved in the creation of the game. However, her extraordinary body of writing is the foundation of all projects in the Wizarding world. This is not a new story from J.K. Rowling. With J.K. Rowling having very little in connection with Hogwarts Legacy, you will not be supporting her when buying the game, but you will be supporting the hard-working developers over at Avalanche. Back to the game details. Characters like Harry Potter, Hermione Granger and Ron Weasley will not be present in the game, as this story is set long before the timeline of the books and movies. Regardless, there are a few familiar faces present in the late 1800s who we could see make it into the game. These being Albus Dumbledore, who started Hogwarts in 1892, Bathilda Bagshot, who is living in Godric's Hollow around this time, Phineas Nigellus Black, who could be the potions master seen in the reveal trailer, Nearly Headless Nick, who died 400 years before in 1492 and could be the ghost on a Gryffindor table in the Great Hall, and Grindelwald, who I believe is studying at Durmstrang around this time. If Nearly Headless Nick is in this game and roaming the castle, greeting students by pulling his head halfway off his shoulders, just like in the movies, I will be overjoyed. And so we have reached the end of this video, the first of many in my line of Hogwarts Legacy videos here on this channel. If you enjoyed or learnt anything new today, be sure to drop a like and subscribe. I'll be keeping you all up to date from here on out on this game, so don't miss out. I really hope this game lives up to its hype, because a wonderful adventure set in the Wizarding world is something every fan has dreamed of for a very long time, and an RPG set in the Wizarding world is a potential unlike any other. Thank you all for watching, but for now, stay tuned and I'll see you soon.